a whole lot of criticism and outrage over the fact that Sarfaraz Khan wasn't named recently in this election for Team India A against South Africa A. But amid that, politics also, because Congress's Shama Mohammed has now accused Gautam Gambhir, the head coach, of religious bias. And that's why she says Sarfaraz Khan hasn't been selected. This comment has sparked a fresh controversy ahead of India A squad's upcoming matches. Here's what Shama Mohammed said in the reactions that came in.
It's the big communalizing cricket controversy. Congress spokesperson Shama Mohammed bowled a communal bouncer over the omission of explosive batsman Sarfaraz Khan from the India A team. Shama Mohammed claimed that Khan was ignored by selectors because he's a Muslim. The Congress leader took aim at head coach Gautam Gambhir and accused him of naked religious bias. Not just the Congress, even Asaduddin Owaisi jumped in, questioning selectors for allegedly sidelining Muslim players and belittling Indian cricket's pride.
Sarfaraz hit 350 against England, average 3 tests. He then hit 100 against New Zealand in the home series, which India lost 0-3, went to Australia last year, but didn't play. At times, he didn't get a chance to bat even in net sessions, madam. So, at the end of the tour, he was dragged into conspiratorial whispers that it was about an injury, as it is never recovered from it. He also lost 17 kilos. He lost 17 kilograms of weight. But now Ajit Agarkar, I think he is the senior selection committee for the Indian team. So, but this is something which they have to answer to. Why he has not been selected? What is the selectorial criteria?
The BJP has rejected charges of any religious bias and slammed the Congress for injecting communal venom into cricket. The BJP added that some opposition leaders are politicizing cricket and insulting Team India.
ये सब चीजें मुझे लगता है कि इसमें पॉलिटिक्स लाने की जरूरत नहीं है, क्योंकि अजहरुद्दीन कितने साल तक कप्तान रहे, आबिद अली रहे, मुश्ताक अली रहे, ये इन लोगों को पता नहीं है। ये सस्ती लोकप्रियता पाने के लिए और इसको राजनीतिक मुद्दा बनाने के लिए इस तरह की बातें करके बच्चों के फ्यूचर से खेल रहे हैं। कितने हम आपको और नाम गिना दें जो क्रिकेट खिलाड़ी अभी भी खेल रहे हैं। शामी खेले, अभी वर्ल्ड कप के दौरान देखा प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कैसे गले लगाया था शामी को, जबकि हम लोग वो मैच हम हारे ऑस्ट्रेलिया से, उसके बाद भी उन्होंने तारीफ उसको गले लगाकर की और उसकी हौसले की बात की। मोहम्मद सिराज खेल रहे हैं। ये क्या तमाशा कर रहे हैं ये लोग? क्यों इस तरह की बातें कर रहे हैं? लेकिन इस तरह की बातें देश में जो हो रही हैं, ये एक बहुत ओछी और गंदी सियासत का परिचायक है।
This isn't Shama Mohammed's first swipe at cricketers. Ahead of the T20 World Cup, she had faced backlash for fat-shaming captain Rohit Sharma in a now deleted social media post. Now, by suggesting a communal bias in cricket selections, the Congress has once again triggered a massive controversy. So shouldn't netas stop being spoilsports and leave the game alone? With Nitin Srivastav, Bureau Report, India Today.
Okay, joining us on this broadcast now is Maushmi Singh, who tracks the Congress for us. We also have, of course, Nikhil Naz with us on this broadcast. Maushmi, I'm just going to quickly come across to you on what the Congress has to say about Shama Mohammed's comment. You know, the last time that she fat-shamed Rohit Sharma, I remember that the Congress distanced themselves completely from that comment. In this particular case, does the Congress back what she said? Do they endorse her view?
See, clearly, Akshita, you know, last time round, she was told to delete that post. And, you know, the Congress really didn't want to identify with what she was saying. And it had created a huge embarrassment for the Congress party as well. But yet again, she's commented on politics, on sports. And the Congress is not in tune with what I'm told, with what Shama Mohammed has clearly said. Because, you know, it rakes up a completely different controversy. And even Mr. Owaisi did put in a question mark saying that why was Sarfaraz not selected in the team. It has surprised many as
Yeah.
it's out on social media. But still, Shama Mohammed perhaps breaching that party line yet again by putting out that post questioning whether there is a bias because of his religion and he was not selected. Surely the Congress leadership would not be pleased with that.
So let's see if there's any sort of comment that comes in from the Congress. Moshmi, thanks for those details. Let me bring in Nikhil Nazar. Nikhil, I'm obviously not going to ask you about the politics of it all, but rather about how the exclusion of Sarfaraz Khan is being viewed, because there are some suggestions, as you've heard there from Shama Mohammed, that this is to do with his religion.
Well, I'll tell you what, Akshita, I'm not the one to ever object on anyone making comment about, let's say, cricket or politics. All of us, have the right to do that. But let me just give you one straight out fact there with what Dr. Shama Mohammed has tweeted. And she says that it's probably because of his last name and it is Gautam Gambhir's stance that we all know. So I'm just going to give you two simple facts straight up. Firstly, when she's talking about his non-selection, I'm assuming she's talking about his non-selection from the India A team, because that team was announced yesterday. As far as the Indian main test team is concerned, Sarfaraz has been out for almost 12 months now, at least close to 11 months. So clearly she may not be talking about the Indian team. Now, when you talk about the India A team, the squad of which was selected yesterday, do you know what? Gautam Gambhir has zero contribution to make in that, because he's not even part of the India A coaching
She's
setup.
blamed him.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So at the end of the day, if you were to consider the facts that she's pointing fingers at Gautam Gambhir, it makes it very clear that it's a political statement. She wanted to make a political point, obviously because he's been an ex-BJP MP. So she's pointing a finger at him. He had zero role to play in the non-selection of Sarfaraz for the India A team. Having said that, if you look at it from cricketing point of view, I agree that Sarfaraz not being part of the India test setup, that is unusual. Sarfaraz not even being part of the India A setup, which is a rung below the main team, and he's now been pushed out of that. That also will raise questions. I think those questions should be raised. But once you give it a religious tinge to it, then you actually dilute your argument. Because I'll tell you, there are 99 things that are wrong with Indian cricket. Religion isn't one of them. And I say that with over 2 decades of experience having covered Indian cricket. Now, so far as Sarfaraz is not being selected, I'll give you two insights into what is it that we picked up when he was not selected for the Indian test team. One thing that was pointed out, that he's not fit, the valid point there, and now he's gone on to lose 17 kilos and yet not part of India A, so that doesn't hold mustard as well. The other thing that was pointed out, and this was done right after that Australia series that happened in December last year, there was a meeting and couple of very senior BCCI officials pointed out that Sarfaraz was guilty of leaking some inside information from within the team setup last year in the Border Gavaskar Trophy, and probably that is one of the reasons why they've kept him out. Whether that's a valid reason or not is up for debate. We can talk about it, but it's clearly non-cricketing reasons, not religion, non-cricketing reasons why he's out, because his cricketing performances is top-notch. He should definitely not only be part of the India A team, should also be part of the Indian test team at the moment.
Just a quick addition to that, and correct me if I'm wrong, Nikhil, but on the religion front, if I'm not wrong, Mohammad Siraj is also one of those who's been selected?
That's absolutely correct. Mohammad Siraj is part of the team. And let me also add, I think there were two big selection blunders that have happened in the recent past. I think the ones that have raised the maximum amount of eyebrows, and that is Shreyas Iyer not being part of the Indian T20 team and Yashasvi Jaiswal not being part of the Indian T20 as well as ODI team. They were already part of that. Top performers, both of them, they've also not made it. So my point is that selection is such a matter that it's very difficult to please everyone. It's a thankless job. There will be players over which there will be question marks as to why they were not picked. As I said, there could be various other reasons why they cannot be accommodated. But unfortunately, as what Dr. Shama Mohammed is pointing out, religion or some sort of communal tinge that she's trying to give, that isn't true at all.
All right, Nikhil, thanks for that. Thanks for joining us and simply purely from a sporting perspective to kind of break it down as to why Sarfaraz Khan wasn't chosen. You can outrage all you want, and we're seeing that, of course, on social media. Everyone has a right to an opinion, to a view on what the team should look like. Shama Mohammed, the Congress, of course, has dragged in religion to this. And what Nikhil has confirmed for us is that you have a Mohammad Siraj in the team. So it doesn't look like there's any sort of religion bias, and never has been perhaps in Indian sporting history, because Indian sports is about those kind of divides, those kind of divisive politics that we see, unfortunately, in the country in other sectors.